All right, guys, if you're as frustrated as I am with what's going on here with Fish and Game and the CWD and the cats and all this BS I've been posting about for quite a while. Anyways, I want to point out some numbers to you on the LaSalle unit. The way they make themselves look good so they can issue more tags, more and more tags, sell it all, make their money, is they change their objectives. And I've got a chart right here, and I'll post it here in a bit. But anyways, this is on the LaSalle's and their objectives. So in 2015, the population was 7,000 deer, and their objective was 13,000. Okay, so they were at 54% of their objective. 2016, they hit 55%. 2017, they were at 5,300 deer, which was 41% of their objective. 2018, 5,500 deer, 41% of objective. 2019, 42%. Then they decided, well, since we're failing so miserably, let's change the numbers and make us look good. Yeah, that helps us, right? And go figure, they did it right in 2020. So in 2020, they changed their objective to 8,000 deer. And guess what? It came up to 81% because they had 6,500 deer. Okay? 2021, they hit it at 74%. 2022, 69%. 2023, 69% at 5,500 deer. 2024, lo and behold, we got 8,800 deer and we got 110% of the objective. No, we don't. The objective was 13,000 deer to start with. And we changed it to 8,000. So I think you're a long way from objective. So when they want to say we're over objective so we can issue more buck tags, that is total bullshit. Yeah, drop your objective from 13,000 deer to 8,000 and then brag to me that you're doing a good job. If you worked for me, I'd fire your ass right now. Then I look at the chronic wasting disease chart on the LaSalle's. And on the LaSalle's, I've been told that we've got areas that are as high as 70% in our collared deer that are infected. Well, their deal is they want to catch the chronic wasting disease at 1%. If they catch it at 1%, then it hits 2%, they can start shooting out mature bucks and work on focus areas, kill it out, and possibly stop it. But they've got to catch it at 2%. If it hits 5%, now it's out of hand. This is their numbers, not my numbers. They say if it hits 5%, that's when it starts to spread to other units and gets to where they can't control it. Well, here's what we got. This is the way we manage the LaSalle's in the worst CWD in the state. In 2019, they tested 62 deer. They had 9 positives for 15%. Here's a chart. Just so you know, I'm not kidding anybody. Go ahead and look at that chart. Pause it, do whatever you gotta do. So they know they got 9 positives, right? So what do? They follow that up in 2020 and they test 10 deer. That's the best they could do, 10 deer. All of us hunters, everything else, and this is on us too, hunters, we gotta get these in. This is so important. Get these tests in, but Fish and Game, come on, 10 deer for hell's sakes in a bad unit. So they tested 10 deer and they got 2 positives. So they decide in 2021, let's really crank it up. Let's find out what we got going on here. Guess what? They tested 16 deer. And you know what? They need 3, on deer, they need 304 samples to have an accurate count, an accurate percentage, and actually know if they have 1%. They've got to test 304 deer. That's their numbers right here. There you go. That's right out of their management book. So I think they're ways off of 304. So they know they need to hit 304 tests. We got in 2021, they bang job. They did 16 and they had 8 positives for 50% infected. You would have thought that would create a little bit of an alarm, wouldn't you? And they'd go, dang, we need to get this tested so we can get this figured out. So in 2022, they crank it up, and guess what? They got 35 tests. 35! For God's sakes, a 2-year-old could get 35. They had 7 positives. Okay? Out of 35. For 20%. I mean, these numbers are so accurate, they're just kicking butt. So then in 2023, they decide, man, we better crank it up again. Guess what? They got 30. 30 tests when they know they need 304. 304 tests is what they need. They got 30. And 18 were positive. That's a 60% infection rate on their numbers. Are you shitting me? Come on, you guys. Anybody can do better than this. 60% infection rate, and you don't get nervous when you're worried about needing to catch it at 1%? I think you missed the mark by a long ways. So, in 2024, they had their best year. They got 165 samples. And it was 36 of them are positive for 22%. So what we've got from 2019 to 2024, we've got anywhere from 15% to 60% on their numbers. And I'm told that the collared deer are 70%. So do you think we ought to step it up? Do you think for 2026 that ought to be a mandatory testing area and we ought to get the 304 samples that we need to test for 1%? And do you think we should go on a 6-year rotation on all the other units that have got it and it's getting worse? So we test it once in 6 years? What the heck are we going to have 6 years from now? If you know you've got it and you know it's growing, you better be testing for it. You better get a handle on it before it's out of hand. This is ridiculous. I can't even believe that our deer are being managed like this. And I would love some answers. And believe me, I call them all and I ask a lot of questions. And I'm pretty sure they've been told not to talk to me. Anyway, I wanted you to know the numbers. You guys make the calls. Turn up the heat. Let's get some shit done.